Hello there. How you doing? Yes. What's going on, people? Yes, yeah, I see you all. What's going on? It's the boy Nahominho, man. Listen, man, I'm so excited, man. It's less than a week to go to the Premier League begins again. This has been one long-ass pretend summer. So it's been dragging. The worse the weather got, the more I miss the football, man. So I want to start today talking about the most crazy thing that happened this week, you know. Neymar actually moved. He actually left Barcelona. There's no more MSN, people. Like, MSN is done. No more. Neymar's gone. Like, 196 million. You know what? To be honest, I don't really want to address the fee too much because for me personally, I think most players are really worth what the club's willing to pay for them. So it's not really their concern. They don't set their transfer values. People pay what they're going to pay for a player. Now, the thing for me is, I don't understand why he would have gone to PSG. I can understand why he would leave to get out of Messi's shadow. Because if he has a good season, Barcelona has a good season, which means Messi had a good season as well. So Messi's going to win that Ballon d'Or ahead of him every time. It's just always going to happen. Because he's the main man. That's what it's going to be like. But if you want to win the Ballon d'Or, why would you go to PSG? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, for me, honestly speaking, the only way he could win the Ballon d'Or from the French league, he'd have to score around 50 goals in all competitions and dominate that league and win the league. And then he'd have to win the Champions League as well and either be top scorer or the player of the tournament for that year. And to be honest, to throw a little cherry on top to make sure he gets it, I think he'd have to win the World Cup with Brazil next year. Do you know what I mean? So if he doesn't do them things, I can't see how he's going to overtake Messi and Ronaldo for these Ballon d'Ors. Now, I personally do think he's on the same level as them players, but it's just, you know, I just can't see him overtaking it. They're at a more competitive league, they're doing it on a higher stage, and they're more likely to win the Champions League than PSG are, even with Neymar being at PSG. So, he said it's not for the money, it's not for moving out of Messi's shadow, he just wanted to be the main man somewhere. That's cool, but like, there was other platforms for you. Alright, cool, granted, not everyone can afford to sign Neymar, but there was at least another 2 clubs out there that would have been able to take on a Neymar and purchase him for that money and whatnot, but so he didn't go for it. Cool, fair enough, go PSG, do your thing. You know what, I'm a big Neymar fan. I wish him the very best of luck, and I think he will don it up. Obviously, he's the man in it, he's the man, so he'll do his thing out there. So let's talk about the replacements, potential replacements. Now, there's 4 names that have been touted about. Let's start with the most likely to happen, which is Coutinho. Personally, I would have thought Coutinho was more of a long-term replacement for Iniesta, and I personally thought that they were chasing Coutinho regardless of Neymar. They were looking to bring in Coutinho to appease Neymar. So I don't necessarily look at him as a Neymar replacement, although he can play from that position. Will he be as consistent and productive as Neymar? No, he won't be. He's just not as good, nowhere near as good. The other thing is Coutinho, I don't think he's even the best player at Liverpool, if I'm being honest. Mane is streaks ahead of him. The consistency and quality of Mane mixed with the end product, it's insane. You saw what happened for Liverpool last season without Mane. You saw what happened without Coutinho. They were fine without Coutinho. They were not fine without Mane. You know, Coutinho, he's on his day, he looks like he's one of the best players around. But that day isn't often enough for my liking. That's why I don't see why Barcelona would spend 100 million on Coutinho. The other person, Dybala, baller. I can imagine him and Messi playing together as well. It'll be ridiculous. He's a very good footballer. Is he a direct replacement for Messi, for Neymar though? I don't think so. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't see that being the signing that they make this year. He's made it quite clear that he's happy Juventus, he wants to stay. For me, the next name is the one they should sign. Ousmane Dembele. This kid is... he's something else, man. The guy, he's so quick, completely both-footed to the point where he can't answer the question when you ask him what foot does he kick with. He makes really good decisions with his passing and shooting, and when he's going to do it. His timing is excellent. His acceleration is disgusting. His feet and his dribbling is second to no one, really. Like, he beats players for fun. But it's his decision making. Like, he gets a lot of assists. He creates a lot of chances. He will miss a few. He does. However, he keeps getting into them positions, he keeps doing his thing, and he's only 20 years old. He's ridiculous. He's a very good player. If they got him, I think they would have actually possibly got the best possible replacement for Neymar. And the last one is Hazard. Hazard, I can't see that move happening at all. I think that's just lazy journalism. They're just throwing his name in there because he's a player that plays off the left as well. Or he thinks he's a number 10 as well. But so does Neymar. So I can understand why they say that, but to me that's just lazy journalism. Hazard, Barcelona, I don't see it happening. That was the biggest transfer rumour of the week. Not even rumour, it happened. But the one that's going to spark the merry-go-round potentially going to happen this week, they're saying, this coming week, will be Mbappe going to Madrid. If Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, there are some big things that will happen as a result. There'll be a big fallout from that. One is, BBC will have to also get broken up. It's not going to be Cristiano Ronaldo, let's be real, that would be ridiculous. I don't know how this cockroach, yeah, I said it, cockroach, Benzema has survived, because only cockroaches survive this long. I don't know how he survived this long in that Real Madrid team, but he will still be there as well. It's not going to be him. It's going to be the other guy, the space chimp himself, Gareth Bale. I can understand fully why Real Madrid would want to sell him. The guy has not stayed fit for the last 2 years. He's played between 25 to 35 games for the last 2 seasons, and this is a club that have gone on to win the Champions League back-to-back and go far in their domestic cup. So that means they play around 60 games a season, and he's only playing 25 to 35 of those games. That's not good enough for what was the record signing when they bought him. When he does play, he can be very good, but he does let the team know because he's never fully fit when he plays. I don't see how they could keep him if Mbappe was to come. He's on silly wages out there. I think he's only second to Ronaldo, and it's more or less the same fee, same wages. So I think he's going to get moved on if Mbappe does in fact join Real Madrid. Where would he go? It's Man United, really. That's the only place. But sorry, before I get there, he's also the other reason why I think it's going to be Gareth Bale to leave is because Isco stepped up in his place, and he's just shown he's a very, very, very good footballer. He's allowed Real Madrid to have a different flexible formation where they could play a diamond and actually possibly play Mbappe alongside Ronaldo if he does end up coming. But yeah, he gives them that bit more tactical flexibility because he can play from wide, he can play through the middle, and he links up the play so much better. And then there's the other special kid, Asensio. The kid is special. He's a very, very, very good player. They don't actually need Gareth Bale anymore, and to keep a man that they don't need on their wage bill for that long, I can see why they're possibly going to get rid of him. So going back to it, the only club that's really been linked with him, which seems to be every year, is my team, Man United. Yay! I don't know if I want Gareth Bale. A fully fit Gareth Bale that can give me 40 games, 50 games a season, 100% I'll take him like that. But how often has that happened recently? Like, if he can't stay fit in the non-intense Spanish league, how's he going to do it in the Premier League? I can't see it. I don't know. Like, the thing is, saying that though, at United, we have got quite a few good options in attacking positions. So if he was to miss periods of the season, there's very, very good replacements. A bit like the Isco and Asensio situation at Madrid. You won't feel the loss as much. It's just that you miss that bit of stardust possibly. But then that's an opportunity for someone else to step up and really deliver. Could he do a Neymar and leave Real Madrid? He keeps saying that he doesn't want to leave Madrid, that he's happy there. It's exactly what he wanted. It's the club he wanted to be at since he was a kid. Cool. Could he do it? Could he do a Neymar though? Like, why would you want to consistently keep living in Ronaldo's shadow? And Bale's not on Neymar's level for me to even be pushing Ronaldo as far as Neymar tried to push Messi. Do you know what I mean? So if he did go to Man United, he would be the main man at the club. He would be the star, and everything could go through him, which is what he's wanted. And I'm sure he must have ambitions of potentially being on the Ballon d'Or candidate list at least. So if that is the case, I think your time is up. Personally, I think it's a good decision for you to leave Real Madrid now. But yeah, so going back to United now, it's been a decent summer of transfer business. I was very happy with Lindelof at the beginning. He's had a shaky preseason, there's no doubt about it. But you'll give him time. People wrote off Bailly before he even kicked the ball. And yeah, now look, he's one of the best defenders in the league as far as I'm concerned. I think this year, Pogba, he's already shown glimpses, not even glimpses, whole games. I know it's only pre-season, but he's shown whole games where he looks like he's ready to really shine and be Pogba. Like the pressure's off him. He's been there for a year. He's had a full summer off. He had a full pre-season. He's ready to come in and be done. Lukaku, big boy signing, yes. Not my first choice specifically, but very good striker, proven. I think he can hit the ground running. And the best thing about this transfer for me is I don't think he's the type of player that Rashford looks at and thinks to himself, I can't take your spot. Which is, for me, that's what's going to give us real good competition for that starting spot up front. And obviously it gives us that bit of flexibility to be able to switch formations and play them together as well. And Martial can come in. Don't get me too excited here. This is I'm very excited about my team right now. You can tell. But yeah, I think he's a very, very good signing. Matic was the last one. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to you that I wanted Matic at first. Not because he's not a top player, but because I prefer other type of players like a Verratti type or whatnot. So when we were actually linked to him a couple of weeks ago, I got very hyped, I can't lie to you. I did get very gassed and excited. I had to do a lot to contain myself. Now, Matic, what he will bring is experience, a winning mentality, an understanding of what Mourinho wants, and what he would do is also release the shackles on Pogba and Herrera. Herrera will support Matic regardless, but he'll release the shackles on Pogba, and that's the key thing. So if he can do that and we succeed, I think we have a very good chance of winning the league this year. Now, speaking of Matic, Chelsea, why would you sell one of your key players of last season's title-winning team to a rival? Do you not respect us enough to think that we can do something? That'll be your mistake. But just generally, Chelsea's whole transfer policy this summer has confused me. They've got a 3 out 1 in policy when they already had a small squad. Now, they won a league last year with about 14, 15 players. That won't happen again this year. You're back in Europe. The competition is more intense. Everyone else is strengthened and improved. You didn't get that many injuries last year. You can't rely on that every year. And you know what? You're starting to see Conte say the same things. He's not really particularly happy with the board. I think that's clear to see. He's a bit antsy at the moment in all his press conferences and interviews. So there's something not quite right going on at that club. Why they're not, like, he clearly didn't want Matic to be sold. So that was the club's decision and not his. So are they supporting their manager? This is another question. But he's randomly talking about other clubs, other players. I'm confused what's going on. To me, this has already started a bit like the way Mourinho's final season at Chelsea began. With a loss today in the Community Shield, which leads us on nicely. Same opponent, Arsenal. It's where it all started to go wrong for Mourinho as well, when Arsenal beat them in that Community Shield final. Chelsea just weren't at it today at all. Like they had their little spells of attacking where they looked like a threat. But essentially, they don't look fully fit. Firstly, they don't look ready for the season to me, and their squad is still very thin. Chelsea had 4 youth players on their bench today. They would never have done that had it not been by force. So they clearly have a lot of players that are just not there at the club. They don't have numbers. So, but let's not take any credit away from Arsenal. Now, those of you who know me know that I'm not Arsenal's biggest fan at all. However, this 3-5-2 formation is working for them, innit? It's not doing too shabby, and especially considering they had the spine of their team not playing today. You know, no Koscielny, no... I don't know if Coquelin's even part of this team, but Santi's definitely part of this team. And when fully fit, he's their best midfielder. He wasn't there. No Ozil, no Alexis. Weren't even in the squad. So they looked very comfortable for having quite a few of their most important players not playing. Mertesacker came off early, but then that gave an opportunity to Kolasinac or whatever his name is to come on. And I can't lie to you, he looks like a specimen. Like, there was one moment where he charged down the pitch and he just got faster and faster. And he just looked like a giant bulldozer, like some juggernaut that's running down like like he's chasing some X-Men out there, like, you know? Like, he just looked massive, but he looks like and he got the goal. He got the equalising goal, you know, and got them into that penalty shootout, which they won. So, I don't know, it's an interesting season ahead, but all I'm saying is I'm just excited. I'm looking forward to it starting again. I know you must be too. Yeah, man, till we meet again, man, let's talk soon. But anyway, what I want you to do, if you want to see all the best football content from around the web, log on to my website, www.12mantalks.com. It's behind me on my, you know, big budget projector and interactive board and all that. Yeah, we're working with big budgets around here. But yeah, log on to the site, have a butchers, and yeah, till next time, peace.